You're standing at a crosswalk, watching the traffic. Every car, every person moving around you looks like a chaotic, unpredictable system. But imagine for a moment that every single step was pre-written. It is a strangely comforting thought. If a script already exists for your life, then the mistakes you make aren't really your fault. Throughout history, humans have used the idea of an unchangeable fate to explain away tragedy, failure, and stagnation. In ancient Indian philosophy, this concept of a predetermined cosmic will is called Daiva, or destiny. It is the ultimate scapegoat. This sensation of being guided by an invisible hand feels undeniably real to most of us. We repeat the same mistakes, fall into the same habits, and hit the same invisible walls. To understand why our lives feel so heavily scripted, we have to trace those invisible strings back to their source. A precise map of those strings exists in a text composed in Kashmir around the 10th century. Traditionalists often call it the Yoga Vāsiṣṭha, but modern historical scholarship has unearthed its original, unedited form and its true name, the Mokṣopāya, which translates to the means to liberation. The text is structured as a dialogue. A prince named Rama is paralyzed by existential dread, and his teacher, the sage Vasiṣṭha, delivers a diagnosis that shatters the religious norms of his era. Vasiṣṭha tells the prince that fate does not exist. He argues that destiny is a nullity, a complete hallucination invented by ignorant people to excuse their own inaction. Let's look at the text itself. In this translation of the sage's teachings, Vasiṣṭha lays out the mechanics of human action. He states that what we call fate or divine will is nothing other than the action or self-effort of the past. The things happening to you today are the delayed results of your own prior actions. This creates an immediate problem. If there is no cosmic destiny, and we are the sole authors of our lives, why is it so incredibly difficult to change our own behavior? The mechanism that locks us in place is karma. In popular culture, karma is often treated as a mystical ledger of good and evil. But in early Upanishadic thought, karma operates almost like physics. It is simply action, and the residual momentum of that action carrying forward through time. Every action you take leaves a subconscious psychological imprint, known as a vasana. These latent impressions build up over time, forming deep mental grooves. Those grooves then dictate your future desires and intentions, or sankalpa, which forces you to take the exact same actions all over again. Another ancient text, the Mandukya Karaka, identifies these hidden impressions as kashaya. They are dormant, invisible obstacles hiding in the mind. When you try to change course, or even just rest your mind, these hidden impressions activate and drag you back into the loop. You aren't being manipulated by the alignment of the stars. You are trapped by your own accumulated psychological conditioning, a state of deep ignorance the texts call avidya. To break the loop, Vasiṣṭha prescribes a highly specific tool, Pauruṣa, or conscious self-effort. He argues that the effort you exert right now in the present moment has the power to decisively override the momentum of your past conditioning. This aggressive approach to hacking your own mind sits in contrast to other major philosophies of the era. The Bhagavad Gita, for example, famously teaches karma yoga, performing your earthly duties without any attachment to the rewards. As Indian philosopher S. Radhakrishnan noted in his extensive translations, the traditional view relies heavily on insight. Here in Radhakrishnan's commentary on the Gita, we see that wisdom is the means of liberation from the chain of avidya, kama, karma, the interconnected cycle of ignorance, desire, and action. The Mokṣopāya demands something sharper than detached action or quiet wisdom. It emphasizes vichara, relentless rational inquiry, and viveka, the precise ability to discriminate between reality and mental projection. One uses these tools to systematically dismantle the mind's conditioning. Liberation requires an active, intellectual teardown of the mind's own software, moving far beyond the simple acceptance of one's circumstances. So what happens when that software is finally rewritten? When a person exhausts their impure vasanas through disciplined self-effort, they continue to eat, work, and interact in the physical world, but their internal reality operates on entirely different physics. Texts like the Ashtavakra and the Tripura Rahasya detail this exact state. Because the liberated person has completely dissolved the egoic idea of I am the doer, they can take action without leaving any new subconscious imprints. The engine is running, but it produces no exhaust. Freedom is achieved by moving through the physical world without accumulating new psychological chains. But if human effort controls the entire chain of cause and effect, what caused the universe in the first place? To explain the origins of everything, the Mokṣopāya uses an ancient Sanskrit metaphor known as Kakataliya, the crow and the coconut palm. Looking at this, your brain immediately assumes the crow's landing caused the coconut to fall, but the two events are entirely independent. It is pure, uncaused coincidence. According to the Mokṣopāya, the creation of the universe operates on this exact same principle. It is spontaneous and uncaused. Effort, karma, and the physical universe itself exist as spontaneous, uncaused vibrations of consciousness. There is no grand design, only this arbitrary movement. If destiny isn't real, and the rigid chain of cause and effect is just a coincidental illusion, is the physical world we are trying to change even real at all?